Thank you, Susie. I've got 3 questions for anyone here that's under 11. Who's under 11? Okay, 3 questions. See if you can yell out the answer. The first question is, what do you grow in a rose garden? Rose, yeah, excellent. What do you grow in a vegetable garden? Yeah, this is fantastic. Third question. What do you grow in a community garden?
Community!
Everything. This is it, community. Thank you. So welcome everyone. This is my second office. And if you'd like to get involved with the management of the community gardens, come and see me after, because we've got our AGM coming soon and we're looking for some new recruits. But I started here about 4 years ago. And I figured the best way to make a friend is to be one. So I joined the community gardens, and I've got to say it's really changed my life as far as networking with people and meeting some genuine, real grassroots community people. I've lived most of my life in Sydney in the smoke and mirrors, in the corporate scene. So I found the community gardens was a great way for me to just have meaningful relationships quickly. So I open up that possibility to you afterwards, but let's talk about now why we're here. And I guess it starts with looking out on the planet. We can all see a fairly uncertain future in many ways. I know we've got peak oil, peak water, peak food, peak population, peak money, peak credit. We don't have peak stupidity, which I think is one of the shames. Then we wouldn't have CSG. So for me, the idea of a local economy and food security is really important things that we address. And this today is a celebration of our local food. And if you look around here at the community gardens, who's here for the first time? Well, welcome. Yeah, welcome. Were you surprised? Yes, this little oasis down the end of Stewart Street. So I want to just in a moment, I'm going to introduce you to our landlord. Because about 5 or 6 years ago, this group of really powerful, fearless goddesses got together and invented this whole idea. Some of them are here today and we'll thank them at the end of today. But our landlord was really great because he rented us this whole 6 acres for $400 a year. How's that? That's the community gardens rent every year. So I'm going to introduce you to him now. Simon, if you could come up. This is Simon Richardson and Frida. And let me just tell you a little bit about Simon. Just a very brief bit about Simon. This man, ex-Steiner school teacher, has been in the region for over 17 years and is absolutely a complete advocate for community gardens. He's helped us with this one in many ways through the council, also with the Shower Gardens, which we've spawned a brand new community gardens in Ocean Shores. And Simon, as you know, just recently got elected as our mayor. So I'd like to introduce him and say, as a friend and as a man, I'm really honoured to be an associate of yours, Simon, and thank you for being here. Let's have a round of applause for Simon.
Thank you, Greg, and what an amazing introduction. What did you call me? The landlord? If only. It sounds so powerful, but not quite. But it does remind me actually of about 4.5 years ago when I first met Jeanette Martin, and she was telling me about the plans for this place and basically said, can council help? And I just said, I'm sure council will help in any way we possibly can. And it is amazing to look around now that only about 4 years later, and it's hard to imagine this place not existing. I was just saying to Greg earlier that this amazing community garden has the potential to be a regionally or certainly state significant community space. And my hat's off to all the organisers and volunteers over the years. It's been said by someone far smarter than me that community gardens is the first step in showing a commitment to community. Because when people get together and plant corn or put things in the ground, they are saying, let's stay here. And when you do that and you build a foundation through a community garden, you're also building a foundation for wider community. So I thank the organisers and the volunteers for forging a beautiful community. around a garden. I would also backtrack a fraction, if I may, and acknowledge we are on Bundjalung Arakwal land, and I pay my respects to elders past and present. And I think it is within keeping of Indigenous communities that people are planting food together, harvesting food together, and sharing food together. So I think there's something inherently human about what's taking place here. I would also just say one last thing, and that is, you look around here and it's very easy to suggest that this is abundant in volunteers. But Greg, are you flat out saying no to volunteers, or would you like some more volunteers? Always more welcome. So please, if you have got a slight interest in volunteering some time here, please don't hesitate, because sometimes when we think everyone else is doing it, things don't get done. And I'm sure this organisation would really love a new thrust of energy and some new blood and some new passion. So whether children's gardens or biochar or alternative energy or food production is your bag, please get involved and help spearhead it, because I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Look, that's enough from me. I guess on behalf of Council, I'd like to thank the organisers of such an amazing event. Local food, local energy, local community is what makes this area special, and in the future will make this area a place of true treasure. So hope everyone enjoys themselves and has a great day. I'm sure I will. We're looking forward to Dirt Girl. I don't know who else is looking forward to Dirt Girl, but my little girl is becoming a little bit angsty for Dirt Girl to arrive. So I hope everyone has a great day, and thanks very much for inviting me.
Hello. Welcome everybody to the gardens. I was the lucky person who got the job as coordinator, which is really just orchestrating the magic. Do you know the story about the poor cobbler and the elves came to help him make the shoes, and he'd wake up in the morning and all was accomplished? It's been like being allowed to witness the elves creating their magic here. I've seen just astonishing coming together of people's willingness and physically bringing themselves to the task and coordinating themselves so beautifully. It has been an absolutely magical experience. And so here we are at the opening ceremony. Of course, it's not at the beginning of the day. We're going to call it all in now. And so to start, I would like to pay my respects to the Minyang Ball, and I would like to invite on stage Uncle Athel to share a few words with us.
Oh, good morning everybody. I'd like to welcome you all on behalf of the Minjibul people, Dingiwala, Minjibul Begun. We have, I would like to also acknowledge and pay respects to our ancestral spirits and to our ancestral beings, and acknowledge all other Indigenous people from other different Indigenous nations. Today is a very, very good day, and for a special day, I've seen the growth of the Mullumbimby Community Garden grow from its first inception way back in the early 2000s, where I was a part of the CDEP work group that was also involved in having a part in this. I would like to say thank you and welcome you all to Minjibul country. Minjibul is a major part of the Bundjalung nation, made up of the Buningbar people at Fingal and the Kujinbara people at Kujin, the Wuyong people, the Durungbul people of the Brunswick River, then the Tyagra people, and then we have Byron Bay, which is a shared country by all the different tribal groups of Minjibul, Nyabul and Minjibul, and that is our area of where we live. I would like to say, pay my respects to you all for being here, and thank you very much. Right. I'd like to hand you back to Mr. Tina now.
Right. Okay. I've been very lucky in that I've been asked to hold the ceremony here, and what I would like to do is something very, very simple. Very, very simple. I think the place of ceremony in our culture, in our society, to look at that, I've wondered, what is it that we are doing? It's not a thing that you do, it's not necessarily actions that you play out, but the place of ceremony, in my understanding, is a moment that we can come together and we can be present. And that's it. To be present in the moment together. And what I would like to offer as we take a moment to be present together as our community is to draw your awareness to the question, does the earth belong to us or do we belong to the earth? Because I take a lot of comfort in understanding that we belong to the earth. And this is a beautiful moment for us to, in our togetherness, remember that we are all one and we are one with the earth. And so I'm going to strike a gong just to call a moment of attention. And then as we move out of that moment, we're going to have this choir from Cape Byron Steiner taking us in song. This will be followed by the Songbirds. And Alison and the Global Grooves drummers with some dancing. I would also like at this moment, so that I don't have to get onto the mic and do yak 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 again, to say we've got Alison going to be leading a kids' kitchen garden tour, cooking and eating at the end of the ceremony. So if you want to gather over there at the yellow sign. We've got Susie Lee of the Great Red Outfit going to be running a hula hoop workshop if you look for her, and juggling. We've got Sharon Gibson. She's doing the sweet potato project, how to turn your burn pile into freeable land. So if you'd like to follow her. And over at the permaculture corner, we have Georgia, who is constructing a pond guild, which is like a garden for frogs. So if we could just in this moment tune into ourselves, tune into the earth, tune in to our community present. And in this moment, there it is. It takes but a moment. So I'd like to hand it over to the children, as is always inevitable. Thank you.